Well, welcome back to our channel. It's been a while that we've released a video, but we haven't just been sitting around. We've been doing lots of work on the house and the yard. Today's video will show you every single thing that we did.
We're Debbie and Stain, and this is our Italian destiny.
So when we bought our house, a few things were missing. We've made a video on putting in the kitchen. Another important component, though, was a heat source. We were told gas was extremely expensive to heat a house, so we got to work immediately to get a pellet stove put in. After talking to a lot of locals, they said that was the most economical and efficient way to heat the home. So off we went and we selected a stufa, as they call it here, for our house. As discussed in another video we did specifically about heating, this stufa, this pellet stove, allows us to heat the radiators all throughout the house, which gives us great flexibility because we do also still have the gas infrastructure to heat the radiators. This gave us a second option as well as the wood in the kitchen, so we thought this was the best way for us to move forward with the heating the house.
After finishing the kitchen, we had plenty to do on this side of the wall. As you can see, we closed off an existing opening and we opened up another area, and we needed to paint and fix all this. But we had something we wanted to do first, which was add some more light in this room, because the only light we had was a window over here and nothing else. There's a little window tucked in there, I'll show you that later, but it's not really in this room and there's no other windows here. So that's when we decided it would be very beneficial to add another window, which is what we did. And that's what we're going to show you now, that process.
He can make some little wood, a piece of wood, to put the flowers on. If you want pots there, like a window ledge, he can make a little wood thing to provide some shelving.
Okay.
But it won't be, I mean, you won't have anything like over there because it's so much wider.
Yeah, it's deeper. So what did he say?
Oh, he said, you found the walls to be very thick, huh? I was like, yeah. It was armored concrete, cement? I don't know how they say it in English, with like the rebar in it.
Yeah.
And then some insulation, and then another layer of that cement. And then probably this thick, a natural stone that was on the outside. So it was quite the job yesterday to get this cut open. But they did it. You got it.
Look at that view we're going to have
No.
of our yard.
Well, after we put in the window and got a bunch more light in here, it became very obvious that even the ceilings were going to need some attention. You could see where the sort of structural supports are in the ceiling. It was coming through, so therefore we wanted that fixed, and we had asked those same builders to re-plaster all the ceilings. Another dirty job we wanted to get out of the way before we started to do finish work, like putting in the floors or painting. And yeah, they took care of that. We redid them on all the rooms down here, the seating room there, this dining room, as well as the rest of this area down here.
Now that this window's in and we have all this brilliant daylight flowing in, we had one more problem we needed to tackle before we could actually paint and lay new floors in here. And that was this little room attached to the living room that we had no idea what to do with. And originally, it was the kitchen back in the day. Not where our kitchen is now, but back in the day, this was just a little room full of white tile, and it had a little door. So Stain came up with a great idea. Let's turn this little room into a bar. And I'm like, I love it. So we had our contractor knock out this wall and make the doorway bigger and make this an arch. And I just absolutely love it. We tore out all the white tile. We had our plaster come in, redo the ceiling, paint, lay the floors. Well, when the floors got laid later. And we found this great little bar downtown at a little mercado. So we picked this up and it just fits perfectly in here. We have a piece of grandma's furniture in here as well. So it's just a little room. This window opens up to the loggia. So if we're having a party, we can actually serve drinks right out the window onto the loggia. This is a great little room. And we love it. One more little detail we needed to attack was our staircase. And from the very beginning, I've always wanted to re-change the configuration of this. It's very narrow. It's not overly steep, but it's very narrow. So we talked to a gentleman who came and actually removed all of our treads and our back pieces, and he took them to a shop and he sanded them down and he oiled them. He said, "Oh, you don't want to get rid of this. This is beautiful wood." And so he just took them all off, took them with him, and then came back and put these on. And I think they're absolutely beautiful. And they go with the current color and style of the already built-in cabinetry here. So that was one more little piece before we actually paint. Now, let's paint.
So after completing all those projects inside, spring was coming up. So we were excited about being able to use the outdoor space as well, one of the main reasons that we got this house. The first project we decided to go for was an area, expanding an area that we could later then use as a dining room or a lunch space, I guess, in summer, which was based off of a picture, an inspiration picture Debbie had seen on Pinterest. Yeah. I always say Pinterest is the most expensive free app out there. So, so I got in touch with our builder who's done a lot of stuff. He's very versatile in his skill set, and he was able to source beautiful beams, old-fashioned beams that went perfectly with our house. So Debbie is now going to roll a couple of videos showing kind of how this pergola was put together and how the idea that she had pretty quickly, really, in like 4 days or so, was turned around into this pergola.
So we're going to be transforming this into an inspiration picture that I saw on Instagram. And the goal is to make our little place very similar to that. Are you helping?
Yeah. Doing the easy stuff. Come signora? Piace la signora?
I love it. Molto bene. Ah, yay.
Bello.
Yay, it's gone.
Deve levare il tappo, aspetta. Quando il cavo non serve più, sta cavo. Ora staccalo.
It's so bizarre because they had one on that window, but not here and not there. So, I don't know which thieves they were trying to keep out. The ones that go through little windows, I guess.
Another area that needed taken care of here back in the backyard was an old concrete slab. There was like a carport or something over here, but it wasn't permitted, so the previous owners removed the roof and sort of left it all disheveled and kind of falling apart. So we had that taken out, and then even before we officially bought the house, we had picked up this gazebo that was on sale at like the local Home Depot. It's called Obi over here. And we had this thing which was perfect for summer. It was fairly large, and we wanted to put it out here because this spot has great views. It's nice and calm in the back. Usually you don't hear any motorcycles, contrary to right now, but we had that up, and it had a bug screen on the sides. It was great. Unfortunately, it wasn't very strong, and so when the winds came in the fall, unfortunately it got destroyed. However, we still have this sort of seating area here that we really enjoy in summertime for the sunsets, for the views. We could do a little fire pit over here on the side. It's really a nice area that we hope to actually enhance this year by putting a pergola up that will be a similar style to what we did over by the house. Huh?
And watch the sunsets.
Yes, and watch the sunsets. See, this is all scripted. I have to follow instruction. This isn't freestyling here. As you might imagine, our house had been sitting empty for 40 years. We're surrounded by forest, of which we own about a total of 1 acre. You can imagine how the fence and everything in this back corner of the lot was completely overgrown. So we brought in an excavator to sort of level out and clear this of bramble and other things. And thankfully, as they were clearing out the bramble and ivy and privy, they found a bunch of boulders, which we had them place here to kind of mark the edge of our terrace up here, as well as use for a staircase. And while this was also a Pinterest idea, this time it didn't cost us any money. They had all the materials ready. They were basically buried under all these weeds. We had the excavator on hand, and they just carefully placed steps for us to access this forest, which are absolutely beautiful. They lead to nowhere for right now, but we have a plan. There's always a plan.
Well, that's it. We've been pretty busy the last year and a half.
Yeah.
With all the different projects, and we did do one other one just a few months ago, maybe longer ago than I think. Our upstairs bathroom. We totally gutted that out, took out the bathtub, put in a beautiful arched shower, raised the ceiling, so now it's a cathedral. It turned out really beautiful, I think, don't you?
Yeah, we were able to use some of the same builders we had used for other projects, and they were great partners in updating that room, and we really love it.
Yeah, and one other little thing we just did last month.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about it. We upgraded the fireplace in our kitchen. You may have seen in another video that we have a fireplace in there, which was sort of like intended for cooking steaks and things. It wasn't really, primary purpose wasn't really heat. But we did use it quite a bit, especially when we didn't really have a heating system in the very beginning. And once we found out that there were some incentives currently going on with the Italian government, we talked to some local supplier, and they hooked us up with an insert that we installed inside the existing fireplace, which will give us a much higher efficiency on the wood that we burn. Now, I don't mind. I actually like chopping wood every once in a while, but I don't like to do it, for 2 weeks straight in preparation for winter either. So this will be greatly improved. We've used it quite a few times, kind of in the beginning that it was installed, and we probably used only a third of what we would use previously as far as wood is concerned, and we get a lot more heat from it. So it's been a great update as well.
Yeah. So that's all our projects that we've been doing around here. So sorry for such the late video, but we are planning on leaving early July for Poland. So we're going to video that. We're heading up there to help some friends with some gardening. They bought a little farm, and we're going to stop at some places on the way. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a big like. That would really help us a lot. And we'll see you on the way to Poland, right?
Alrighty.
All right.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Ciao.